guys, this is my first video on here. I'm pretty excited, especially to get my ring light all set up. That took a long time, so I'm still not a pro at this, still learning, but I'm excited today to talk to you guys about schedules. It is nap time in my house, so I finally had a minute to kind of sit down and let you guys in on where I'm kind of at with planning for our school year. So we made the decision to do virtual schooling. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just a little bit stressed out with all that entails. I've been looking into Bible curriculums lately, and I think I found one, so I plan on sharing a little bit about that soon via video. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about schedules. I am a big planner and scheduler. That is what makes me and my husband completely different, because he's just not that way, but I had my whole life scheduled out by the time I was like 18, and of course nothing ever happens the way that you think it is, but I have always been the type of person where I need checklists, I need schedules. Like that's my jam, that's how I function. And so going into the school year, I knew that I needed to come up with some kind of plan and schedule to kind of help me feel comfortable and make things go smoother. But before we get into the schedules that I want to share with you guys, I learned really early on as a mom and as a parent that I had to learn when to throw the schedule in the trash, which was hard for me because I am such a planner. That I remember when Naomi was little, I had this like whole routine that I went through. I'm all about a routine, and she just wrecked it. And as each child was born, I mean, that's what kids do. They're on your time, they're not on, or they're on their time, sorry, they're not on your time. And so something I want to emphasize as I get into schedules, especially with virtual schooling and being a former homeschooler, is there are going to be times where schedules are not going to work. Your kids are going to be fussy, life is going to happen. And rather than being stressed out about it, know when to throw the schedule in the trash. Know when to say that, okay, today we're not going to do this, or today, this just is not going to get done. There's always tomorrow. That's the number one thing that I kind of wrote down for this year, is that I need to let go of the schedule sometimes. And so I'm putting that out there for you just as much as I'm putting it out there for myself, because being such a planner and scheduler, that's the hardest thing for me with having kids, is that there are days where I'm like, all right, we're gonna get up, we're gonna go to the park, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then everyone has a meltdown, and one child spills paint on the floor, and if I am so stressed out about following this schedule, I'm gonna just have a meltdown myself. And so there are days where I'm just like, okay, well, that was the plan, but we're just gonna play it by ear now because this is not working. So along the lines of schedules, the first thing I want to share with you guys, and all of these things I did put on my blog, and I put links to a version of it that you can either print out or you can edit it yourself to make it work for you. And I realize not everybody's a scheduler, this isn't going to work for everybody. It's just to give you some ideas as you get started in the school year. So what I do is I come up with a weekly schedule for myself and a weekly schedule for our kids. And so starting with my weekly schedule, I have on there all the things that I am supposed to accomplish during the day if everything goes well. And so I'm going to pull it up on your screen so you can see it. So you see the first thing I have on here is my Bible study, get dressed, and get kind of my room and the house straightened up. And I encourage every person to take at least an hour in the morning of just quiet time to get yourself together, if at all possible. I know with babies sometimes it isn't possible. My son is over a year and a half and he still sleeps in our bed, and most mornings when I wake up, he wakes up. I usually turn on a show for him, or give him some toys to play with, just so I can have that time in the morning between me and God to kind of get my head in the right place to face my day. I think it's so important to start that way. Early on with motherhood, and I was running a business at the time, I would literally wake up after a couple hours of sleep and hit the ground running, trying to function that way. And I did that for years until my body just was like no more, and it was just too much. And so I learned that I need to take that time in the morning to sit there and do my devotional and read my Bible and pray and worship and get myself dressed in the morning, because I'm a believer, look good, feel good. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every day I don't get myself together. Some days, I have sweats on, and that's what I'm rocking that day. I don't stress about it. But I do feel better when I do have the opportunity to put on a little bit of makeup, or maybe, put on an outfit that actually matches it, or put on jewelry. And so that's something that I put on that schedule, and I try to stick to, is that first hour a day. And then after that, I usually fix breakfast and do dishes. Ideally, there's no dishes in the sink, but let's be real, like a lot of times at night I don't get dishes done. Maybe that whole day I didn't get dishes done, so I try to get caught up on that in the morning as I'm fixing breakfast, or after I fix breakfast, so that the sink is empty or somewhat empty. After that, I try to do a Bible study with the kids. I have been really bad about this the last 2 weeks. Like, when I started this blog and vlog, I was like, I'm going to be real and honest, because that's my personality. As you'll get to know with watching the videos, I love authenticity, and I try to be as authentic as possible. And just being 100% honest with you, I think we've done Bible time probably once this past week. Our church is doing virtual VBS, and so we're going to do that in the evenings with my husband, because I think that would be something good for us to do as a family. But I do have that Bible time with my kids, so that they can learn how to study God's word, and they can learn and grow deeper in their faith. And so I have 45 minutes allotted for that. This is kind of our summer schedule. Their school actually hasn't come out with what their plan is for virtual schooling quite yet. Their school will start up at the end of this month. So I will update these and give you an update as we kind of get that information, and as I kind of see what works and doesn't work. But that Bible time is there to stay even during the school year, before the school starts. About 45 minutes before they're supposed to log in for their school, we'll spend that Bible time. And I think I found a Bible curriculum, which I said I will share more about that later. And then the next part of the day is schoolwork with the kids. A lot of it I'm hoping will be pretty self-sufficient, but I realize that I will have to help them out, obviously, to a certain extent. And so when they are doing independent work, I plan on getting my weekly cleaning done, which I will get into that a little bit more later. And then I have lunch on here, and then finish my daily and weekly cleaning. In the afternoons, I'm going to try my best to prep dinner. And then I will also be working on my lesson plans, because I am a dance teacher. So I need to work on those and choreography. And then also I do office work for an arts organization. So I'll chisel out some time after lunch, because that's usually our quiet time when the little ones are napping, like right now, that I can get those things done. And then after their school day, that usually is at the end of quiet time. I like the older ones to read at least for 30 minutes a day. My older two do not like to read, so that's a struggle. And a lot of times they'll get picture books and they'll say, oh, I read, and no, you need a chapter book. And then with my younger ones, they actually love to read. So I try to read with them as often as possible. And then the kids are supposed to be doing their chores and or homework. And then on the days that I'm not teaching and I'm home in the evening, I like us to try to do something as a family together, whether it be watching a movie or playing a game or taking a walk. That doesn't always happen, but that's kind of like my ideal, what I'd like to happen. And then after that, I have dinner and clean up. And then if all of their chores and homework are done, at that point, they can get their tablets or watch a TV show. It's kind of free time for them. I do try to limit their screen time, but there are some days I'm a big fan of not stressing yourself out, where if the younger ones are really fussy and the older ones want to get on their tablet and watch a show, or watch a show on Netflix, I let them do that. Once we dive into the school year, there will be a lot less of that during the day, obviously, because they will be getting schoolwork done. And then as you'll see on here, I have my kids' bedtime staggered, and I had to do that because our 3 girls are in one room and Aiden has his own room. And I did have the 2 younger ones in a room and 2 older ones were in the other room, but Layla kept going in their room to sleep anyway, so it just made sense to do it that way. But there's arguments, there's crying, there's drama in the evening, and I just was over it, so I've staggered their bedtime. So Aiden goes to bed at 7:30, Layla goes to bed at 8, London goes to bed at 8:30, and Naomi goes to bed at 9. And so on here, you'll see that they're, they each have to brush their teeth. They each have an area of the house that they need to clean up before they go to sleep. And I kind of stagger the bedtimes, and it's worked out pretty well and reduced the amount of drama we have at night. For our girls, it's a weekly schedule, but also a monthly schedule. So I have the whole month on there, but it's a week by week. And so you'll see I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday on both schedules, because Sunday, I like for us to take as kind of a family day and a day of rest. If there are things that need to be done, of course I get them done, but I try to keep Sunday open. On here, the kids can just mark off the days as they complete the tasks. So on the kids' weekly schedule, they have shower, get dressed, and do your hair, and I have times on here for them. So my hope is that I don't know what to do, or I'm bored. Well, go look at your schedule. Did you do everything on there that you were supposed to get done? And usually the answer is no. So then they have plenty to do. The next thing is breakfast and brush their teeth. Then I have the Bible study on theirs. Then this is actually kind of a hybrid of what we will be doing. Possibly, I'm still waiting on the school's schedule to come out with how they want them to complete their virtual schooling, but also a little bit of what we did this summer. So they do their schoolwork, then they have their chores. I have their chores on their weekly cleaning schedule, weekly schedule, so that they actually get them done. So they have afternoon chores and they have evening chores. And then once they've finished with all of that, then they have free time in the evening, the same as I was talking about before. And then they each have a place in the house to clean, and then wash their face, brush their teeth, go to bed. So this has been the most effective way I've found to get things done for them. It works for us. It may not work for other people. I realize that. That's for my two older ones. Now my younger two, Aiden doesn't really have anything that he does. I just have him help me, pick up to show him how to clean. But for Layla, she does have a chore chart or a weekly schedule as well. And hers is words and pictures. I don't use any times. This is how I did it with my my older two when they were younger as well, because obviously Layla can't tell time, she can't read. And so this is something she can do independently, which is really, really helpful when I'm working on other things. And so on here I have morning, she's to get dressed, she's to make her bed, she's to eat breakfast, brush her teeth, then clean her room, and then it's schoolwork. So she'll be going to preschool 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So on those days, after she cleans her room, she'll get her school supply or her backpack ready, and then we'll go to school. On the other days, she'll go down to our playroom, which is going to be our school room, and get ready to do either a packet of work that I put together with her, or she'll be doing ABC Mouse or something like that, just to make sure she's learning. Now, with that being said, she is 4, so some days she might be fussy, and it may be more of, okay, we'll find something quiet to play with or do a puzzle while I'm helping your sisters with schoolwork. That's where that whole, sometimes you have to toss the schedule out the window comes in. And then in the afternoons, she is to clean the playroom, eat lunch, clear off the table after everyone's ate lunch, and when she clears off the table, she's to wipe off the table. And then it is quiet and reading time. Now, depending on what we've done during the week or the day, a lot of times Layla will still take a nap because she's tired, which is fine. That's what's happening today. And it's so nice to have this quiet time. But if she's awake and she doesn't take a nap, we usually read together. And then she can either play ABC Mouse quietly, or she can play with toys quietly. We don't do any TV during quiet time just because I want the house to be kind of quiet. And I find that's a good time, especially if the kids have been frustrated or I've been frustrated, for us all just to kind of breathe before continuing on with the rest of the day. And then in the evening, she is to pick up the floors, stairs, and hallways. So she picks up any toys, clothes, trash that's laying around, and then dinner. And then if she's done everything she's supposed to do, she has free time. And then she is to wash her face, brush her teeth, and then it's bedtime. So that is her schedule, and it's a little bit more appropriate for a younger child because it doesn't have the times and it isn't quite as detailed. And then also hers isn't a month, it's just week by week, so there isn't so much information. And then special days. So honestly, schooling at home, being a former schooler, it can be kind of monotonous. Honestly, it's like the same thing over and over and over again, especially on or during weeks when you're not really doing anything. And with COVID, like a lot of us aren't doing very much. And so to help kind of break that up, I'm planning on doing special days with the kids. So we're going to do Make It Mondays, where they will either make an art project or will actually all together make an art project, or we'll bake something together. And then Fridays will be Fun Fridays. So if everyone tries their best and they're good listeners and they're cooperating that week, we will either take our schoolwork to a local park so that they can play and get some fresh air in the nicer months, or we'll do something fun, like maybe go down to Newport Aquarium. Depending on the flexibility of virtual school, we might even skip out on school on Fridays and go take a field trip during the day, and then maybe that Saturday make that work up, or maybe we'll double up on Thursday. So I'm going to wait until I see kind of how the school has things to make that decision. But I thought by doing those two things, those two special days, it would kind of break up the repetition of week by week, especially since a lot of activities are canceled. Our daughters loved cheer last year, and unfortunately that was canceled. So I'm hoping that this makes it a little bit better with doing the virtual schooling at home. And then I'm also going to be posting YouTube videos of things that we make, and also trips that we take. If you would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel and learn, or not learn a little bit more, but maybe get some ideas and inspiration for things that you can do with your kids. The next thing I say a lot, I'm so sorry. I'm going to work on that. Hold me to that. But the next thing I want to talk about is cleaning schedules. So I used to, before kids, and like when Al and I were first married, I would clean up as I went. And then on Fridays, I'd like deep clean my whole place and do all my laundry. And that worked out lovely. But then after we had kids, that did not work out. I would be so stressed out because on Fridays, I would like try to get the kids to cooperate so I could clean the entire house and do all the laundry. And as our family grew, we had a lot of laundry. And so I came up with a cleaning schedule that for the most part helps to keep my house clean. Now, I'm just going to tell you this right now, my house is a mess, okay? And if it didn't take me so long to set this up just like this so that you could see me, I would pick this up and I would show you how a mess my house is right now. This does not help all the time. I will tell you, with babies, it is a struggle. And with my clingy toddler, it is a struggle. There are some days where I'm like, I don't feel like cleaning with him on my hip. After I film this video, I'm going to do my best effort to get some cleaning done. Hopefully he'll still be asleep. But for the most part, this does work very, very well to keep my house pretty clean. So what I do is every single day I focus on one area or zone of my house. And so I'm going to pull this up so you guys can see the cleaning schedule that I do each week. So on Mondays, I focus on my living room and kitchen. In my house, our house isn't super huge. Our first floor is our living room and kitchen, and it's not a big space. And so I dust, I clean out the fridge and pantry, I clean the glass, I clean off the appliances, I vacuum under the furniture, I scrub the sink, I mop, and it's a parent laundry day, so I do Alan and my laundry on Mondays. And then every day I do 30 to 45 minutes of trying to clean the entire house. And I usually get the kids, especially the older ones, if it's during quiet time, to help me with that. We just go around the house, and anything we see laying around, we just pick up, we vacuum, we sweep, just to kind of do a little refresh of the house. On Tuesdays, I clean all of our bathrooms. We have 2.5 bathrooms in our house, and so I scrub the sinks and tubs, I clean the glass, I wash the bath mats and shower curtains. That one sometimes I do bi-weekly. If they aren't that dirty, I don't bother. I do the kids' laundry on Tuesdays. I clean the toilets, I sweep and mop, and then I wipe down the walls. On Wednesdays, I clean the bedroom, and sorry, the bedrooms. I was reading ahead. I clean under our beds. I clean the glass. I wipe down surfaces, organize closets, wash bed linens, sweep and mop, wash beds as needed. So that's the mattress part, washing the beds that I'm talking about. And sometimes with the kids' bed, even wiping it down because there's stickers or nail polish and things like that that I randomly find. And then do mine and Alan's laundry. On Thursdays, I clean the basement and the laundry room. So I dust, vacuum the windows, vacuum under the furniture, wipe down the washer and dryer, clean the glass, wipe down the toys. Once a month, I try to run the toys or sanitize them. So some of the toys I just put in a gentle wash bag and put it in the wash and run that on a sanitizing cycle. Some of them I soak in the tub in bleach to keep it nice and clean. I organize our school zone. That's something I haven't done yet because we haven't started school, but I plan on doing. And I sort our mail containers. I have 2 containers on the wall in our laundry room that I just tell Alan mainly to toss the mail in rather than laying it all around the house, and then I just go through it. I try once a week. Sometimes it's every other week if I don't get to it. On Fridays and Saturdays, that's a catch-up day and a time to clean out the cars and the yard work. So if I don't get things done, I left Fridays and Saturdays kind of more open, especially Fridays, so I can kind of get caught up on those things that I may have fallen behind on. So I pull the weeds, water the plants, or Alan does some of these things as well. Wipe down and vacuum the cars, wash the car seats. That I usually don't do every week, maybe bi-monthly, depending on if they're disgusting or not, or monthly. Trim the hedges and flower beds, mow the lawn, wash the cars, do the kids' laundry. And then those daily things that I try to do for 30 to 45 minutes, unload, reload the dishwasher, take out the trash, wipe down tables and counters, make beds, the 30 to 45 minutes of quick clean, just picking everything up, vacuum and sweeping. And then monthly, I wash out all our trash cans, I wash the rugs. Like I said, I usually do that every other week because they usually aren't too gross. Change the air filter. That's something that I want to try to get better about. Wipe down the walls and baseboards, shampoo the carpets, sanitize the toys.